even if you come here with your husband, maybe your husband wants to do another job, you can have set shifts to get £28,800 more per year as opposed to someone working in a hospital. But in a care home, you cannot progress career-wise, which is a green light, guys. That one is a green light. Tea time here in UK is dinner time, and tea time is typically between 5 and 6 p.m. I earn £10 more an hour as opposed to someone who works in a hospital. Are you overseas thinking of coming to UK and work in care homes, and you have no idea what care homes in the UK operate like? Are you asking yourself, what salary are you going to be getting in a care home? Are you going to be able to manage the cost of living crisis in UK? Is there any opportunity for career growth? Am I going to be able to do childcare? And all those questions that we typically ask ourselves before we take up on any job. Well, I've lived and worked in UK for the past 5 years, and for those 5 years I've been working in a care home, which means I'm in a better position to share with you what working in a care home is really like here in UK. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all you need to know about working in a care home in UK. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Pauline Popomoyo, and this is the channel where we keep things real. And if you're interested in relocating to overseas or knowing about life in the UK here in general, do subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss any of my videos, because I do drop content on that on a regular basis. So without wasting any of your time, guys, let's dive right into the video. The first thing that I'm going to be talking about is the salary, because before we take upon any job, we want to know how much we're going to be getting. Why? Because you need to know whether you're going to be able to manage your bills, pay your bills, take care of yourself, pay your rent and everything. So you need to know how much you're going to be getting in a care home. So I'll give you an example. I'm working as a peripatetic nurse here in the UK, and my annual salary for last year was around figure of £65,000 per annum. Wait a minute. I did not say this is what you're going to be getting as a nurse when you work here in UK. I said my salary as a nurse working in a care home was £65,000 per annum. As you can see, this payslip was towards the end of my tax year, and it already had 64 point something, and at the end of my tax year I had 65k. And I have not worked in any other place. Like, I've not done any agency work. I've not gone to work in any other place. So working here in a care home in UK, if I'm to compare my salary with someone working in a hospital, I earn £10 more an hour as opposed to someone who works in a hospital, which means per given shift I earn £120 more than someone who works in a hospital. And per given month, if you are to work, let's say maybe we work 20 days each month, per given month, it means I would make £2,400 more as opposed to someone who works in a hospital. At the end of the year, I will make £28,800 more than an individual who's working in a hospital. Are you still asking me whether I should come and work in a care home? £28,800 difference, and they're still asking. Anyway, so I get that salary because I'm a peripatetic nurse. So typically, if you come here, the salary that you're going to get, if you want to compare it with someone who's working in a hospital, you are going to be getting at least between £7 and £12 more extra an hour, depending on where you work. So expect to get £7 more to £12 more an hour. Another thing which we worry about is, what are my duties going to be like in a care home? Working in a care home, guys, is very easy because a typical day is like this. You get to work in the morning, you receive handover from night staff. They tell you how many residents you have. Where I work, I normally have a maximum of 20 residents. I work across 7 care homes, and most of those care homes have got 20 residents, which means I'm a night nurse, which means as an individual, I mostly manage 20 residents per shift, and I'll be the only nurse in that shift. And where it's more than 20 residents, if it's more than 24 residents, I normally have 2 care assistants on your night shift and 1 nurse. So in the morning, if you're coming to work, you receive your handover from night staff. After receiving your handover, you go and take your medication, the controlled drugs, or they're known as dangerous drugs of addiction in other countries. You do that count. After that count, you check your residents. Are they all okay? Are they all alive? Are they all breathing? That's a very important step, guys, because at times they can leave a resident who has already passed away. So many times this has happened. So it's important that when you come to work first thing in the morning, before you start your duty, you go around and check whether all residents are alive, breathing, and well. After checking that your residents are well, typically a nursing home is a building. It's more like if you've seen hotels. Most care homes are like hotels whereby an individual has got their own room, they've got their own bed, their television set, they've got even a toilet in their room, a sink in their room there. So ordinarily, if you're a nurse, you start by giving your medication. And you have to make sure that when you're doing your medication round, you are very fast, because you'll be having a diary waiting for you. In that diary, they leave things which need to be done. For example, you need to call the doctor for medication, it needs to be ordered, or you need to contact the dietitian for this resident, they're not eating, or you need to contact the family. So you'll be having different instructions in the diary. And why do you have to work fast in the morning? Is because most of the GP surgeries close early. Some of them close by 11 o'clock, some by 12 o'clock. After giving your medication, you do your diary. After doing your diary, you do things like, sometimes you can be having things like maybe it's catheterization or catheter care, or you're doing dressing of wounds. After that, it will be lunchtime. You make sure that you supervise the care assistants as they are giving meals to residents. You are also assisting as well in assessing your residents as they are eating, to identify whether there are people with difficulties in swallowing or there are people who need assistance with feeding. That is your role as a nurse, and you need to be there during feeds. In case there's a choking incident, remember, when you're working in a care home, you're the one who's overall in charge of everything. So you need to be there for the safety of your residents. After that, you give them their lunch medication. You go and write your notes where you're going to be commenting on how the resident has been like during the day. Did they take their medication? Did they take their food? And so forth and so on. And after writing your notes, typically if it's a day shift, that's basically your day over for the day. Then you can take your file, and most of the time, if you're working in a care home, you'll be allocated maybe 5 residents, which means you're responsible for updating their files. So if you're done with your medication in the afternoon and all, and after writing your notes, you can take maybe 1 file and start updating the residents' notes, where updating their care plans. Typically, they would have 11 care plans to 12 care plans to be updated, which will be a story for another video anyway, because I don't want to make this video too long. So that is what your typical day is like in a care home. And after updating your file, it's tea time. Tea time is what they have for dinner, guys, because when I came here to UK, I used to think that tea time is, you know, in the morning when you're having tea with your bread. No, tea time here in UK is dinner time, and tea time is typically between 5 and 6 p.m. there. So whenever they say tea time medication, because sometimes you can make that error, you say tea time medication, someone would want to give that medication in the morning, because where we come from, tea is in the morning, but here in UK, tea is evening meal, 5 to 6 p.m. So take note of that. So you give your tea time medication between 1700 and 1800 hours. Then after that, that's your shift done for the day, guys. That's your shift done for the day. So it's simple and straightforward. It's really not difficult to work in a care home. But you need to be jacked up, because when you're working in a care home, like I said, you're the one who's overall responsible for the shift. You're also responsible for the care assistants there. So you have to ensure that everything is done. If it's pets being changed 3 hourly, you ensure that pets are changed 3 hourly. The residents are not wet. The callbacks are attended to, and so forth and so on. And now there's the issue of cost of living. If I come and work in care homes in UK, am I going to be able to manage in UK? Because now UK is in recession. If you're working in a care home with your salary, are you going to be able to pay your rent? Are you going to be able to pay your bills with this cost of living crisis in UK? The answer is, guys, like I've already said to you, if you compare, if you are able to get £28,800 more per year as opposed to someone working in a hospital, that is a substantial amount of money, guys. It is a substantial amount of money, which means to that extra £28,800, you'll obviously be able to manage to pay your rent. that 28,800 extra, you can channel it towards your rent here in UK and even remain with some change. Understand, guys? And the most interesting thing about living and working in UK is that if you bring your family over, if you have children, bring the children over here in UK, the education is going to be free. Education is free in UK. The only thing that you can ever pay in schools is maybe for their dinners. Dinner is lunchtime. Anyway, I'll do a separate video on culture shock, things it shocked me about UK. So dinner is all that you normally pay at a school here in UK. Otherwise, everything is free. The books, the stationery, everything is free. All you buy is uniforms and send your children to school. Then let's talk of career progression in care homes, because people have got a tendency of saying if you go and work in care homes, you will lose your skills. If you go and work in a care home, you cannot progress career-wise, which is a green lie, guys. That one is a green lie. If you work in a care home, you don't lose your skills, because whatever you do on a daily basis, you need to be a nurse, a qualified nurse. Giving medication on its own is a skill. Giving medication is a skill. Assessing residents is a skill. Dressing wounds is a skill. Catheterization is a skill. Flushing of catheter, all those things are skills, guys. So there's nothing like if you work in a care home, you lose your skills. And for career progression, in the 5 years that I've been working in a care home, it's just me who declined the offer of being a sister. It's just me who also declined the offer of being a deputy manager. If this is something that you want and you're working in a care home, trust me, if you work towards it, within a year, within 2 years of working in a care home, you can be a sister in charge, you can be a deputy manager. All you need to do is to know your staff and be checked up, which means if you're going to be working in a care home, the first thing that you need to know before you even start doing anything is the policies and procedures. So when you go and work in any care home or in any setup, the first thing that you need to know is the policies and procedures which are going to guide you day to day as you work. And if you want to progress career-wise, there's nothing stopping you, because here you can do masters online. People have done their top-up degrees here in UK online. Then you have a particular day where you can book your leave and go and sit for examinations. So whether it's a master's or it's a PhD or whatever, you can study online. I'm telling you that nurses actually study mostly online for them to get their degrees here in UK. Most of their course content is done online. So if you want to do your masters, if you want to do your PhD, everything is done online here in UK. So even if you're working in a care home, you can enroll for any course. If you've got your degree, you want to do your masters, you can enroll for your masters and do it online. The only thing is, if you're initially coming here in UK, you pay international fees. But you see, people who've been doing top-up degrees here in UK, they've been paying £150 per month or £300 per month, which is not a substantial amount of money, guys, because if this is something that you want, you can always sacrifice your £150 so that you get your degree that you want, or you get your masters that you want, so you can progress career-wise in a care home. And then there are things like childcare. When you're working in a care home, am I going to be able to do my childcare? Here in UK, guys, see me, I'm a single mother in UK, and I'm not struggling much with childcare. Initially, before my son was a grown-up, a 16-year-old, when he came here, he was 13. And obviously, my friends, since I don't have anyone else here, it's just me and my kids, I would leave my kids with my friends, which means as soon as you come here to UK, make sure that you join a community. If you're coming from India, you join your Indian community. If you're coming from the Caribbean, you join your Caribbean family. If you're coming from whichever country you're coming from, there are communities here. And if you join those communities, it's easier if you want help with childcare. Another thing, if you are working in care homes, you have the ability of asking for set shifts. Even if you come here with your husband, maybe your husband wants to do another job, you can have set shifts. What I mean by set shift is you can ask to say, can I only work Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, or can I work Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays? If you are working in a care home and you've got children, they are supposed to grant you, because the UK considers people with children when it comes to working. So if you want to work 3 days a week, or if you want to work 4 days a weekend, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, you go and discuss it with your home manager or your administrator, and they'll show you, grant you those shifts. And then your husband, wherever he's working, whether he's also working in care, wherever he's working, he can also ask for set shifts to accommodate your children. So if you're here in UK and you've got a husband, just arrange with your husband, agree with each other. You work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you ask for set shifts. There are so many people with families and very young children who ask for set shifts. Personally, I don't ask for set shifts because for now I do not need childcare. My son is now old, and I'm grateful for that. He's the one who is now the man of the house and is taking care of the sister while I'm away at work. And the sister is grown up anyway, because my kids, the other one is 17 and the other one is turning 10. I now have an adult in the house, making it super easy for childcare issues here in the UK. So guys, I've worked for 5 years in care homes, and it has been brilliant. It has been fantastic. So guys, I've worked for 5 years in care homes, and it has been brilliant. It has been fantastic. It has been awesome. I love the work that I do in care homes. Don't misquote me and say I'm speaking against the hospitals or what. I'm just simply telling you that I enjoy working in care homes, and I love working in care homes. And if you want to come and work in care homes, you're also going to love working in care homes, guys. You're going to love it. What I love the most about working in care homes is that you get used to the routine. You get used to your residents. You know how to manage your residents. You know all the drugs. You know all the medication that they are on. Because even as I'm speaking to you right now, if you just call one name of any resident in any of the care homes that I work in, I can tell you, at least if they're on 10 medication or 15 medication, I can tell you all the drugs that they're on, because it becomes engraved into your brain there. And when you're working to work, you won't have a difficult time going through the market or what, because you now know the medication that they are on. You now know how to handle your residents. Your residents get used to you. I always say you and your residents become family. So when you walk into care homes, they recognize you. They are happy to see you and everything. And you have a good working relationship with your residents, because it's not like it's a new person every day and you have to learn the person over and over again, because sometimes it takes a long time for people to actually warm up to you. So when you're working in a care home, it makes life very, very easy for you, because you know your residents in and out. So guys, for those of you who've been asking me whether it's worth it to come and work in care homes, guys, it is worth it to come and work in care homes. Come and work in care homes and you'll love it. And if you've got any questions about working in care homes, just do drop them in the comment section, and I'll surely answer any of your questions. And if there's any other video that you want me to do, because I've done the cost of living in UK, I've done the grocery shopping, but things have changed. If you want me to do another grocery shopping video again for you guys, just drop in the comment section and I'll gladly do that. So this is all that I wanted to share with you guys. If you liked what I shared with you so far, give this video a massive thumbs up and share it with your friends who want to relocate to UK and want to come and work in care homes. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.